Day in front of the fans and then Kinnick.
We have a lot of work to do. That's pretty clear. But yeah, spring practice never looks real pretty, and today was certainly no exception to that rule. But I think over 15 days we've made good progress. We've got a young team. The guys have worked hard, and we've made strides, but we have a long way to go yet still. So as long as the guys understand that, I think we'll be okay.
Now that the spring's finished, how would you assess Vandenberg's progress?
I think overall he did a good job. He is a guy that's respected. I think he's a good leader. He's got good leadership qualities, and everybody on the team respects him, the offense and defensive guys. And he's worked extremely hard. So the thing he has to do now is go out and have some success in game conditions, and I think he will. But he'll have some ups and downs too, like most young players. But we're eager to see him play.
Anybody stick out to you either today or throughout the practices in the spring?
Yeah, I think some guys, if you look offensively, Steve Staggs made some grabs today, and he's really had a good spring all along. We've got some openings there right now with 4 guys off last year's team and Marvin being out, so it really gave everybody a good opportunity. I think he's really taken advantage of that. CJ Fedorowicz has made progress. Certainly, thought Adam Geddes had a good spring. He had some injury issues last year and did a good job there. And Jonathan Gemmett, fullback, has done a nice job progressing through December and through the spring. And defensive side of the football, I'd probably look at a couple guys. Dominic Alves has been, I think he's coming along. I don't know if he's game ready yet, but he's certainly improved a bunch. And on the back end, the safeties have done a good job. Colin Sleeper's a guy that hasn't played much and did well. Lowry out on the outside, and Castile have been fighting. Jordan Bernstein, I think, has had a decent spring. So I think there's some good competition. Guys moving along. The young linebackers, Kirk's done a pretty good job, and Hitchens also. So we have guys that are all moving forward, and we're gonna need to continue that trend.
You got through spring without any big injuries. How nice was that to be able to come away virtually unscathed?
Probably the best thing that happened today too. I think one guy re-injured a hamstring a little bit, and maybe a heel problem, but nothing major. And our issues really have been more so, for the most part, coming into the spring. We've had a lot of guys with surgeries and different issues, so that's part of the spring, and that's part of the reason things look a little bit ugly usually. But,
What's Mark?
It'll be good to get. I think we got about 6 or 8 guys that should be in our 2 deep that aren't working right now. And the good news is I think all of them will be pretty much ready to go in June when the next phase begins.
Marvin's timetable. What's next for him?
He should be good. He's been out running around and stuff. He just can't catch the ball with both hands right now, but or have contact. But he'll be fine. So he'll be ready to go in June.
Rogers.
Coach, can you talk about that?
Brad's. That's a different discussion. As you know, it's been a long winding road. They took him off the field in Arizona, and it's not something you fool around with. The only good thing I can tell you is right now we got some tests back a couple weeks ago that had a good outcome, a positive outcome. So I think we're closing in on what they think it is now, and I think there's a chance we'll get him back within a month or so. But that's me being optimistic. I hope that's the case.
Willie Lowe, is he still here? Is there any conclusion there?
He's still in school, and you know what I know as far as he's expressed an interest in looking around, and we traded voicemails this week, but at the end of the week, and that's about all I know on that one.
What kind of things did Coker pick up this spring? How did he become a better player?
Probably the first thing that would jump out in my mind would be the passing game. That's just something he didn't do in high school. But he's really improved in the passing game, both in terms of catching the football, his protection. His protection is pretty good at the end of the year, and then running routes and just having a little better ideas. So he's become a well-rounded back now, and that's great. And he's done a nice job. He had a little bit of a shoulder bruise or contusion, so they wanted to hold him out today from live work. But he's really done a nice job.
What can you say about what he does off the field? I mean, he had a lot of philanthropy back in Washington when he was in high school. Has he continued that?
Yeah, he has. That's just kind of how he's built. And rumor has it he and a former running back, Ed Podolak, were making the rounds yesterday at the Children's Hospital. And I found out secondhand, he didn't advertise it, but he was over there. And I think Ed wanted to jump in there with him, so that would have been a neat thing to witness, former and present. But Marcus is just he's a remarkable young guy. He's built that way and thinks that way, and in his very quiet way, I think he's done a lot of great things around here already. So we're really excited about what's in front of him.
Do you hold your breath at all whenever he's got the ball, you don't want to get him hit or anything with the running back pass?
Yeah, and I guess, if my kid was tackling him, I might be more worried about that than him. He's pretty capable when he's back there, and clearly what we have to do right now is develop some depth there. And I think Randy asked about some players earlier, but Jason White's done a good job, I think, this spring. He's really made some strides and improved, and DeAndre Johnson's got miles to go, but at least right now you can see he looks more like what we'd hoped he would look like. He's healthy now and moving around a little bit. He's got a lot to learn, but I think he's shown some potential too. So, and then someone out of the freshman class, I think it's realistic to think one or two of those guys might help us next year as well.
The offensive line is a pretty veteran group. How much are you going to lean on them to kind of take the leadership role?
Well, they're going to have to do a little better than they did today. I think we did a pretty good job with holding penalties. I think we had 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, something like that, and a couple exchange problems. So, but I think that group will be fine. But we're not there yet by any stretch. And all those guys, we have 3 guys with experience. They're all capable of getting better. If we're going to have a good football team, we're going to need that to happen. And then a guy like Adam Geddes staying healthy and hopefully getting Noel McMillan back. He's still fighting some orthopedic issues, and seeing some younger guys develop. We have the potential to be solid up there, and we're going to need to be. We're going to need that to be a strength for our football team.
Place kicker. D-line this spring that you expect to just kind of reload that?
Yeah, I think they're progressing. I mentioned Dominic Alvis. It was good having him out there. Carl Davis missed the first week of practice with a dance marathon injury, I guess, as Norm said the other day. It's a dangerous drill. But, he came back and got some good work in, and LeBron, has done a good job out there, and some other guys are coming along. So it'll probably be more of a committee type thing next year. I think we'll probably play 6 or 8 guys, hopefully, and Steve Bigak and Tom Nara have both been out with surgeries, but, we expect them to be back here shortly. And so it'll probably be more of a group effort, I think, than what we were last year, and kind of go from there. And on the place kicking front, Mike Myers has done a good job all spring. Trent's right behind him, but Mike, I think, right now is the starter. And I mentioned players that have improved. I think Gary Guthrie, from where he was 3 years ago, it's unbelievable. So, and he'll probably be a little bit like James, some ups and downs early, but I think he's showing us that he can be a good punter, so we're excited about that.
What about number 2 quarterback?
To me, it's pretty even right now. It's that'll probably get determined in August. The good news is I think both those guys have a chance to improve between now and then, and we'll see what they do in that time frame. But it's I think right now kind of even.
Now that spring is over for the 13 guys who are hospitalized in January, are you confident
that's been over. Yeah, for me.
Are you confident that come August they'll all be 100% ready to go?
Yeah, for the most part they've been 100%.
Yeah.
And I can just tell you what I see every day. We've had some guys with orthopedic issues, which is unrelated, but I think we've all moved on, and I told the players they're welcome to talk about it today. You're not going to hear anybody in our camp talk about it after today. I mean, we're moving on. It's kind of like a game.